Good afternoon, friends. I'm Latoya McBean Pompey, an immigration lawyer in New York. And in this session and video, we're going to be talking about a lot of immigration news that's happening or that's happened this week. This was a very, very busy week for immigration, and so I'm going to summarize some things for you. If you're out there and you're watching live on Facebook at McBean Law, give me some likes and just let me know how you're feeling today. If you're watching on YouTube, let me know how you're feeling. I hope you guys are doing extremely well. So in this video, we're going to talk, or in this session, I should say, we're going to talk about ICE, some news regarding ICE, President Biden, a new bipartisan bill that was introduced this week on Capitol Hill. We're also going to talk about the embassy backlogs, visa backlogs. So let's go ahead and get started. I see folks are coming on. It's good to see you guys. Good afternoon. In fact, I intended to do this for you earlier this morning, but it actually took a lot of time to summarize the news and to really dive into it because there's just so much going on. So let's get into the first issue, friends. So the first issue is with regard to ICE. ICE issued an announcement, and I'm going to pull it up here for you. So ICE issued an announcement this week indicating that they are going to pull back on one of the Trump policies. Let me shift this over for you so that you guys can see it better. They're going to pull back on a Trump policy that required undocumented immigrants to actually pay civil fines, penalties. Folks who the department knows about and folks who have not left the United States. Under the Trump administration, I started to issue these civil penalties. And you guys may have heard about this back in 2019. There was a woman who received a bill from ICE for almost $500,000 because she had failed to leave the United States. Well, just on yesterday, the department announced that they're going to pull back on this. They're going to rescind this policy. And this is the press release that they issued. There is no indication that these penalties promoted compliance with their departure obligations. And so we, according to the Secretary for Homeland Security, we can enforce our immigration laws without resorting to ineffective and unnecessary punitive measures, he says. And then this press release also says that, ICE had the ability to do this for 20 years, more than 20 years, in fact. They were able to do this, but they didn't start enforcing this until 2018, okay? And so they've been trying to get money out of people who haven't been, who are still here in the United States, and that's no longer in effect. And according to this press statement, oops, I'm not sure what happened there. Let me get back. Hold on one second, guys. This is what happens when you're live. Okay, and according to this press statement, it says that as of January 20th, 2021, ICE ceased issuing these fines. So when Biden came into office, they decided we're not going to do this anymore. And so that's the news with respect to ICE. Okay. Oh, let me jump back on here. So with ICE, you guys may have heard me say in the past or in previous videos that their enforcement priorities have shifted. They are shifting away from ordinary people who are here, who are undocumented. They've shifted that enforcement priority away from those individuals to people with very serious backgrounds, very serious criminals. So they've shifted to those who may have terrorist ties and those who have very serious felonies on their records. And so the arrest rate actually went down. And so back in March, they arrested, guys, get this, because it's important to put things in perspective. In March, they arrested 2,214 people compared with December under the Trump administration, they arrested over 6,000 people. Now, in terms of removals or deportation, that number has dropped as well, very significantly. And it's not because of the new Biden 100-day deportation freeze, because as you guys know, that never went into effect. That was challenged right away. But with respect to removals, in March, our government removed 2,886 people, compared with December, over 10,000. Okay, were removed during the month of December. So as you can see, there are some things that are slowly happening with the Biden administration, despite the fact that many of us are very frustrated, right, at the pace of things. And I may do a video expressing my summary and frustration with the Biden administration in terms of things that they're not doing. But this is something that's happening in the right direction with respect to ICE. Now, the other thing you should be aware of with respect to ICE is this. Although Biden is in office and there are new agency heads and all of that, there is still a very strong pro-Trump employee base in the agency itself. So there's still resistance to some of the policies that the Biden administration is putting in place regarding enforcement. They're pushing back. Guys, remember that the agents, one of the unions, the ICE union, they endorsed Trump twice, I believe. So they still have a very pro-enforcement culture at the agency. So that hasn't changed, and that does not go away overnight. Okay, so that's with respect to ICE. Thanks for those of you who are on with me this afternoon live. Okay, then the next news is with respect to President Biden. Okay, President Biden, what is going on with him? So in my last update to you guys, we talked about the fact that the Congressional Hispanic Caucus had a meeting with him on Tuesday, and the members of the caucus, they came out and they started talking to the press saying, oh, President Biden has made the commitment that he's going to include immigration reform, that, you know, he supports reconciliation, in which we won't need a single Republican to vote for the immigration proposals that are on the table. And then immediately the Biden administration backtracked. They were like, wow, why did you guys go do that? Why did you guys go tell everybody that? And you heard me say in my video, guys, that one of the reasons why I think the members of Congress did that is to put public pressure on the Biden administration. But they've backtracked and said, well, we need to do immigration reform in a bipartisan manner rather than reconciliation. And this is the exact quote from the press secretary, Jen Psaki. She says, of course, members of Congress are going to propose a range of mechanics for moving things forward. But President Biden's view is that the conversation right now should not be focused on reconciliation. It should be focused on finding a bipartisan path forward. Now, I would say this in response to what's happening here. Remember with the COVID bill that passed recently, initially the president was saying, well, it has to be a bipartisan, thing. It has to be bipartisan. But they knew that the strategy that they were going to advance anyway with the congressional leadership was reconciliation. And so they did it. They did it through reconciliation. And so now we're in a similar situation. They're now saying, well, we need to do it in a bipartisan way before we consider reconciliation. So guys, as you know, as we're watching these events, it's going to be an up and down thing emotionally, right? It's going to be an up and down thing. So just hang in there. But right now, the White House is saying this, but the power around reconciliation is really a tool that lies with congressional leadership. Chuck Schumer on the Senate side and Nancy Pelosi on the House side. So those are the individuals you really need to be paying attention to with respect to reconciliation. Okay, and if you see me look this way, it's only because your comments are to the right of me here. Thanks so much for the hearts and likes. Okay, so that's that update. What else is going on? Bipartisan legislation was introduced just a couple of days ago around the border. Okay, and so no, let me get into this one first. Hold on one second, guys. Oh, so with respect to the bipartisan group, let me back up. I'm going to touch on the legislation after this one. With respect to the group of senators who have been meeting behind the scenes to talk about immigration reform and a way that they can do it in a manner that makes sense for them. They had a second meeting just a few days ago to talk about what should or should not be on the table. And we've talked about this in the past. Nothing came out of that first meeting that they had. This is the second meeting. So what happened during the second meeting? Because this is the purpose of this group, guys. The purpose of this group is to find some sort of consensus around immigration reform. Now, what happened this week? What did these people actually do? And actually, who attended, first of all? So this is a group that is led by Senator Durbin. Senator Cornyn is also a strong leader with this group. And then several other Democrats as well as Republican senators participated in the second meeting, including Senator Bob Menendez, who is the sponsor of the U.S. Citizenship Act, okay, the big Biden amnesty bill. He is a member of this group and he's sitting in on it as well. The meetings. Lindsey Graham is also a member. Now, what did they say? What came out of this one? So according to an article from Axios, they focused a lot on dreamers. They focused a lot on whether on preserving DACA, according to a source familiar with the discussion. And then Senator Cornyn had an interview with Axios and he made these statements. He said, I was making the argument, and I think people generally understand, and that we're not going to do comprehensive immigration reform on this. That's his view, Senator Cornyn, Republican, that they're not going to take a comprehensive view approach to immigration reform. He then said, we can do this incrementally a lot better. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of trust. But I think if we did something that is pretty much consensus like DACA, then that would be confidence building. And then we'd kind of move on to the next. Okay. So their focus, according to him, should be on DACA, and that's really not a surprise here. But then Senator Durbin says, well, we did not reach any conclusions. Okay, we did not reach any conclusions. We put many ideas on the table, and we're going to invite the administration to look at them and join us in this conversation. And then the article goes on to say, well, while Durbin told reporters he sees the immigration bills that recently passed in the Democratic-controlled House as starting points, most Republicans see them as non-starters. And you guys remember the bills that passed just recently on the House side that they're talking about here include the American Dream and Promise Act, which would provide a legal status to dreamers, TPS holders, and then there was a farm worker bill that would also provide a lawful status to those individuals as well. So according to what Axios is hearing, those bills are considered a starting point from a Democratic standpoint, the Democratic members, but from the Republican side of things, they're considered non-starters. Senator Cornyn said, I think there wouldn't be any support for the House bills. Let's see what they do with that. But that's the position right now that they hold. Okay, so that's That's recent. Now let's talk about the bipartisan legislation that was introduced this week on both the Senate and the House side, and it's called the Bipartisan Border Solutions Act. And it was introduced just a couple of days ago. And I'm going to do a separate video on this, but I just wanted to touch on it very briefly. And Senator Cornyn is actually one of the sponsors of the bill on the Senate side. And it was introduced on both the House and the Senate side. So it's a bicameral proposal. And what it does in a nutshell is that it would create additional regional centers. It's a border protection bill. That's really what this one is, guys. It's focusing mainly on the border, what's happening there. And it also puts more resources in place to address the immigration court backlog, so more judges can be hired. And then it also addresses migrant children, okay, and how unaccompanied minors should be handled when they come inside the United States. So that's that new bill. I'm going to do a separate video on it, breaking it down for you. But I just wanted to get into just that basics, the overview for you. Now, on the House Judiciary side, there is a hearing that's happening coming up this week. Let me pull it up for you here. For those of you who are interested in this thing. So on Capitol Hill, the House Judiciary Committee, the subcommittee on immigration and citizenship, is going to have a hearing called "Why Don't They Just Get in Line? Barriers to Legal Immigration." So this is Wednesday, April 28th. At 2:15 p.m. Eastern time. So this is going to also be virtual. So for those of you who are following the committee action around immigration, they're going to have what sounds to me like more of a policy discussion around barriers to legal immigration. You should also know that the Department of Homeland Security is soliciting comments from the public about barriers that they've experienced to legal immigration. So if anything comes out of this hearing, I will be sure to report it to you. Now, let's talk about embassy visa backlogs. Oh my God, right? Awful situation. And I have not been doing a lot of reporting on it because there really isn't anything much to say. Okay, the State Department issued just this week, they tweeted something very generic here, right? One of their annoying tweets that says, "We're committed to reducing the backlog of immigrant visa applicants waiting to schedule appointments while keeping our staff and applicants safe. Applicants should monitor the embassy website for updates on what visa services are currently available." And so, guys, you know that these websites, these updates aren't really that useful, right? You really have to be on the ground to know, okay, what's really going on at this embassy, and be part of certain groups on Facebook where some updates are provided on, oh, is this embassy open? Oh, Jamaica is open now versus Haiti. What's going on in Haiti versus, another country, right? It's been very frustrating for you guys. And so the State Department continues to maintain this position that the local conditions is what's going to dictate whether they're going to get back on track with interviewing folks for the immigrant visa. And a lot of you are out there waiting. And so are some of our clients. They're also out there waiting, but there really isn't much of an update. The State Department is still directing people to just check the websites for updates. And I did some poking around before coming on board with you guys today. And one of the things that, let me take you into it real quickly, just to give you an illustration of what's really going on here. So for example, this is Brazil, right? On the US Embassy in Brazil. And so there's just a little general update here that says the immigrant visa unit is performing mission critical operations. We're making every effort to schedule your immigrant visa case as soon as possible. This is the type of general updates that are just on these websites. And then let's see, which country is this? Then we have Austria, right? Austria was a little bit more specific. It says that they're closed from April 1st until at least May 2nd due to unannounced lockdowns in Vienna. And then I did check, what is this, Haiti as well, because Haiti, in my opinion, the embassy there is one of the most frustrating to deal with. It's really a challenge. But Haiti has this update that they're working on student visas, right? They're doing interviews for F, J, and M visa categories. And then let's see. Then it talks of a little bit about the backlog regarding the presidential proclamation. It says the embassy is able to resume processing family preference immigrant visas based on existing prioritization, which includes visa categories, petition date, and completion of the documentation process. However, due to COVID and in order to protect our staff, the embassy must continue to strictly limit the number of visa appointments each day. And so, guys, that is the best that the State Department is giving us right now, which is completely unacceptable, which is why lawsuits are underway to process your visa applications in a better manner. So that's what they're saying with respect to your visa updates, visa backlog. Okay. Finally, for those of you who are still on, thank you for sticking with me on all of those updates. And there's some other stuff going on too. So I'm gonna come back before you guys, hopefully over the next couple of days, with additional updates and specifically about that border security bill that I mentioned earlier. But for those of you who are out there who are getting ready to work on your marriage petition, I'm very excited to announce that MPP, my marriage petition program, is back. You can begin enrollment on April 30th. And in fact, if you follow me on Instagram, you would have already seen my announcement about it, my Ultimate Marriage Petition Program. For those who are here in the United States who are going to do the adjustment of status process, you're going to get 45 lessons. 45 lessons. And the reason it has been reduced to 45 is because I cut out all of the public charge lessons that were incorporated in this program. And it's now 45 lessons plus templates and additional bonus. And for those of you who are petitioning for a spouse who is overseas, I have another program for the I-130 spousal category. And that one is about, I want to say 33 lessons, very comprehensive, really a lot of good information that you're going to get through this program. What I'm going to do, let me do this. Let me jump back on for a moment. Again, follow me on Instagram so that you guys can get the best updates from me as I'm rolling my programs out. And I do have some other stuff available for you. Give me a second here. Let me pull this up. Okay, so if you're following me on McBean Immigration Law on Instagram, you'll notice that I did provide an update yesterday in a very silly way, but follow Marriage Petition Program. On my Marriage Petition Program page, that page focuses completely on MPP, and that's where I'm going to be going live about MPP from time to time. But enrollment starts on Friday. You want to get in so that you don't miss out on getting some expert help. Get in some expert help on how to do this the right way. I had a consultation just recently, just this week, with a wonderful woman who I'm eager to help, not through MPP, but through legal services. But during the consultation, she mentioned that, you know, they've been married for 6 years now, yet the husband is stuck outside of the country and they've never even gotten a chance to live together. And she's not the only one in this situation. Right? I've spoken to so many others who are here by themselves trying to get their spouse into America, but whether it's the visa bans that were in place or some other issues with their applications, they made mistakes, things happened along the way that just slowed everything down. It's a very frustrating situation for couples right now. And so MPP, the goal of MPP is to really provide you with the right tools so as to avoid those mistakes and get your case processed faster and better and smoother so that you guys can be together. Whether you're here in the US, you could feel more secure if your spouse is here, or if your spouse is overseas, overseas. Get that spouse to America in the right way without delays. So get into MPP. The link is, I'm going to put the link below on how to register, but I do have a page on it. Get into, hold on a second, let me pull it up here. There it is. Okay, so this is my page on MPP. It's latoyamcbean.mykajabi.com/MPP. And this is where you're going to get on the wait list until next Friday, April 30th. Get on the wait list so that you can get a special offer that I'm going to email to folks. But check this out. Take a look at what's being offered here and don't miss out on this unique opportunity. All right. Whew, that's a lot. Okay. So friends, thanks for sticking with me. Thanks for being with me in this live session. By the way, MPP is for those who are going to file on their own. Okay, it is for couples who have made the decision, I'm going to file on my own. So if you've made that decision, you really need the help. And I've made it super, super, super affordable for you. Super affordable for you. Go on that page. You're going to see the price. It's all listed there. It's super, super affordable because the immigration process in and of itself is very expensive. So I've made this one very reasonable for you. Go in there and get the program and learn what you need to learn to have a really solid case. Okay. Okay, guys, for those of you who are out there cleaning your house, I hope you enjoyed this distraction. I know that particularly Caribbean people, you clean on Saturdays. Okay. Thanks so much for being with me. Subscribe, share this with your Facebook groups, share this with your friends on WhatsApp, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you won't miss any of my updates each week. Love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.